aventuré, une odeur de cramé, les musiques dans l'air et sur ce son tes yeux se perdent dans le vague. Sonnent les trompettes des enfers, c'est la seule façon de voyager. Sur un rythme binaire, une poursuite endiablée, une gonzesse bruyante au-delà de la voie lactée. Ne te laisse pas distraire car les dieux ont tranché et les étoiles chantent. À la porte s'ouvre à la volée, une petite voix en sort et sur ce son tes yeux se perdent dans le vague. Sonnent les trompettes de naguère sous les yeux d'un autre passager. Tu joues un rythme binaire et elle en est captivée. Toi tu la trouves agaçante, faudrait s'en débarrasser. Elle ne veut pas se taire, tu décides de t'arrêter et les étoiles chantent. Oh, dis-moi, si je dois craindre les tempêtes, les vaisseaux maudits, l'amour ou les naufrages. Oh, car mes yeux se perdent dans le vague et les étoiles chantent, et les étoiles chantent, 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 chantent. Tes yeux se perdent dans le verre. Et les étoiles chantent. Et les étoiles chantent.
Hello everyone and welcome to yet another Winchester Wednesdays. I am your host, Winchester 572. And yes, that is the latest installment in the Oh Pony Boy series for the Estella Key, or for the Stella Key project, which I have actually committed to. So yes, but other than that, as some of you may have noticed, my voice sounds a little bit crappy today. That is because last week I started coming down with a cold. This weekend it was in full force. Just really bad plug sinuses and some chest crap. But after staying home from class for the last 2 days and getting lots and lots and lots and lots of rest, it's starting to be pushed back. So yes, that should be good. But yeah, other than that, that's basically what's been going on with me. Also, if you guys have not yet, go listen to Upheaval Breaking Point. Yeah, I highly recommend listening to Florence Rain's reading of it on her YouTube, because yes, she went and told me to go read that, or read or listen to it, so I went and did that, and I got hooked on it. I also went out yesterday and got me a Scarlet 2i4. Found out that it wasn't quite what I was hoping and dreaming of. Should have got the 6i6. I almost got the 6i6, and I'm still considering possibly going and taking it back tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, but sometime, probably tomorrow. Taking it back and swapping it out for a 6i6, because currently I cannot access some of the features unless I'm inside of an audio workstation, which I don't necessarily want to be in all the time, nor do I use that horribly often, seeing as my dreams of making music kind of fell through. But anyways, on to a lighter note, let me bring you into the call. Hello, call.
What I miss?
Me dying. Anyways,
Oh.
on to introductions. So, starting off, we have my two lovely co-hosts, Crazy Matt's Captain and Orange Shirt Guy.
I'm also dying.
Boop! Boop, boop! Everyone needs boops.
Alrighty, and next up, we have our wonderful fic editor, Double R Forest.
My mama always said life was like this Winchester Wednesdays. You never know what you're gonna get.
Hey, you're just
They're all
bringing
gonna get boobs.
you're just bringing the jokes on yourself, sir. And next up, we have our wonderful our wonderful casting director, Forrest Rain.
Thanks for...
That's my job.
The poison worked. I mean,
And now our professional on-stream cougher, we have Skyrays.
That
Couldn't even
actually
tell
made
if
me
that
go dizzy a little bit there.
Alrighty, and now
Oh, God, I feel sick already.
and now our wonderful Twitter promoter, we have Larsus.
I'm not doing a good job of promoting Twitter. And by the way, remember to have your pets spayed and neutered today.
Yes. And now on to on to a person who actually did a good job, I saw, of promoting the show today. Zeta and Rosie.
Yo, what's everybody? Let's get crazy!
Needs more cowbell.
Okay. Maybe I should take it in and get a launch pad instead.
Oh my god.
No. No, Zeta?
Pretty sure that's not a cowbell.
It's not. It's triangle.
Oh.
And since apparently we're not getting any Zeta, we now have the doctor here who will hopefully make us all better liking.
Hello, everyone. Do you know whether it's swine flu or bird flu? Because one requires ointment, the other requires tweetment.
And now, a person who absolutely loves those kinds of puns, we have Sora.
I'm going to murder you in your sleep the next time I can find a chance to get to Australia.
Hey, he's coming to our wedding, so just kill him there.
Just wait till after the ceremony.
Yeah.
No, during the ceremony.
No.
You just think you're
It'll be
cutting
the
a
main
cake.
Zeta, you played a Klingon the last thing we did, so you get blood wine.
Blood wine!
Why is Lycan the doctor?
Yeah, why is Lycan the doctor?
Because I thought he was a doctor. Like, actually, legitimately.
Lycan, are you a doctor? Which doctor, maybe?
Almost, not far off.
You're a
No,
nurse?
he was a corpseman.
A corpseman.
That's how I like pronouncing that word because
That-
it's not, because I know it's supposed to be corpsman.
I just remembered that when I was having when I have my dental thing, he was like telling me about how my dentist prescribed me the wrong dosages of all of my medications.
And that makes him a doctor?
Well, he was saying that he was in like medical school for doctor, and I'm just like, oh,
Yep, that's right.
Well, I went to
Okay,
a doctor who almost caused me to get pneummonia because she prescribed me the wrong antibiotic.
Procrastinated you the wrong antibiotic. That happens when you go to the doctor.
I went to a doctor once, basically against my will, and he jabbed the little ear looker thingy in my ear so hard it gave me an ear infection.
Winchester, check your levels. We got an echo on your end, on stream.
I was wondering what that was.
On stream.
On stream.
Do you have
Yeah,
speakers
Winchester.
on? Yeah. All of us are echoing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
you're
me a
used to
second.
sevens. Shut them off.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, I think Winchester might have two different
Killed the
inputs.
stream?
Yeah, he has killed the stream, but there might be two different inputs.
What do you mean? There shouldn't be two different inputs. Okay, one's off. Oh, shit. Okay, now I'm coming to you through my headphones, so there should not be any echo with you guys anymore.
Funsies.
Is the stream live still?
It should be.
Yes, it is.
Yay!
It's buffering for me.
It's not from me, but by the way, Winchester, yet another reason to get a 6i6. This is how I kill my speakers. I just go to the output, set to them, and mute it.
Yeah, the issue is, since I have... You gotta remember, I'm using the Focusrite to interface between my mixer and my computer.
Yes, but you can have your Focusrite be your output for the speakers.
I'll have to look into that if I do end up getting the 6i6.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm really thinking about going and doing that tomorrow.
So here's the better question. Did we get through everyone in the thing?
We also have Coal Dust!
Hi.
Need more sound effects all around.
I was looking for
You need a
the
big
pants
slapstick.
section.
We're looking for the what section?
The pants section.
Well, you're in luck because pants today are half off.
But all you can find is soup! Right?
What do you mean there's only soup?
I mean, there's only soup.
Well,
Get
you
out
should
of
be
the
looking
soup
for
aisle!
I actually thought he said titter face. I didn't know he said interface.
And
sorry.
let me guess. You learned about you learned about medieval Europe and thought it was the boob on neck plague.
No.
As misheard things go, that's the breast so far.
Do your boobs hang low? Do they drag across the floor?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Do your balls hang low? Do they wobble to and flow?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Orange and I give you a good one for
saying
that
low
one.
and they wobble to and fro, does that mean that mopping is quite titillating?
Oh my god.
Oh god.
What
So-
Does it ever end?
Why?
So-
Why does my stream always go to balls?
No, it's a breast.
Because it was a personal tragedy for me. I need to
This
vent-
one time at band camp,
Oh
wait.
god.
Well,
Because this show
you
is
know,
totally the
Winchester,
dog's bollocks. That's why.
Winchester, you could say we're all nuts.
Oh.
Oh.
Where's Woody? God damn it! We need Woody back.
Did we get through everybody
Woody's
now?
entire job of stream is just to be there with his drum kit all set up to just do that, whatever.
To get a just
Yes. Da-dum.
How about
Oh my lord.
I had that on the ready, but I just wasn't listening very closely.
Oh.
Just like usual.
God, Jesus, what the?
Aw,
Oh, that's
Wait.
lame. Come on, we're all
so
adults here.
delayed.
yeah?
So
Why'd you
delayed.
hesitate with the
Your
swear?
app has problems.
I remember when
had to
Orange
think
Sugar
about
Guy
it a
was
little
trying to
bit.
do that, except he was doing it the shitty way because he'd go and just have his phone up to his headset mic, pressing the buttons.
Not headset mic, excuse you.
See, I do know that there's an app for the phone which makes whip noises when you shake it.
What
very
makes whip
interesting.
noises when you shake it?
I
Yes.
think my
I'll
favorite
tell you
button on
what.
here is the Falcon Punch.
You know,
button.
My hair back and forth.
this reminds me back before smartphones. Whenever one of the few devices I had that had an accelerometer was a Mac, a MacBook, and one of the things that it had was a program called MacSaber, which let you swing around your laptop and have it make lightsaber noises.
Oh god.
Why would you swing around your laptop?
Because
Why
it made
not?
lightsaber noises.
What? A Mac is like
It's-
$2,000.
It's sort of like
Yeah.
the people that got the cutting board app for their iPad, and then they could use it as a cutting board.
Yeah, but Zeta, it's also a MacBook. Those things were made of really strong polycarbonate. It had a magnesium frame. If you could break it, they want to know how.
Fair.
Oh,
All right.
That was during the time that Apple was actually good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
which
Alrighty.
ended 2012.
And Winchester
So-
says,
Moo. But yes,
Got it.
tonight we will also be finishing Fun with Changelings.
Oh.
It has been a fun, wild, and crazy ride, and slightly shorter than I would have hoped. But yes, it is coming to an end. This wonderful story. Hopefully, I don't start getting worlds crossed between other things that I've been reading in the past few days.
it'll happen.
Yeah, that'll
yes,
be
it
a
will.
really
Place your
awkward.
bets. I'm running a
It
bet
was. I swear to God, after reading Upheaval for a year and reading any other fic, I would just be like, why is Applejack acting that way? And I'd be like, oh, right, because she's not part of the Northern Equestrian Legion and she doesn't have to report for duty every day.
Oh. Well, I was going wait a second. What? Oh, never mind. Well, and also this fic was also written before the season finale, so some of the stuff that gets mixed in with that also is very confusing. So yes. So
All right, so we get to look forward to all of that then.
yes. So, without further ado, Larsis, take it away.
This is Fun with Changelings by Shikume, here on 95.5 KYOT. Smooth Jazz, the Coyote.
And I'll be your narrator, Larsis. Tonight, we're going to have a bunch of people played by other people, like Octavia and a guard will be played by Double R Forrest. Wubsy and Mayor Mare will be played by Zeta. Rosie, on the other hand, is going to be playing Vinyl and Rarity as usual. Winchester's going to be Lyra. Sora will be playing Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Fluttershy because she's versatile like that. Lycan will be playing Pinkie Pie and Queen Chrysalis because he's versatile like that. CMC will be playing Twilight Sparkle and Big Macintosh. Forrest will be Princess Celestia because she's a Solar Empire supporter. And Skyrays will be playing Nurse Redheart and looks like a random mule. Reversal. Wubsy sat on the cold stone floor, curled into a tight ball to try and capture what little warmth she could. She stared up through the barred window high in the jail cell wall and out into the inky, starry blackness of the night. It had only been one day, but she still hadn't been able to get a moment's sleep since she'd been locked up here. She missed Vinyl and Octavia. She could still feel their love for her, but the distance between them reduced the power of their affection to a mere trickle that did little to lift her spirits in this dank and foreboding place. She lowered her head again and closed her compound eyes, knowing full well she would not be sleeping. All the trouble she had caused weighed down on her. She'd only wanted to find a place for herself. In the end, it had become a burden on all those who tried to help her. Vinyl and Octavia were under house arrest until it could be proven they were not under mind control, and Twilight was likely shut away in her library, trying to prepare a hopeless defense for her. And once the town decided to kill her, what then? What kind of damage would that do to Vinyl and Octavia? Would Twilight blame herself for not being able to do the impossible? She seemed the type. Wubsy went over it in her mind for the 100th time since her imprisonment. There was no way around it. She would die, and the ponies she loved most would be the ones to suffer. Again, she wished she had landed in some remote desert and been left to starve. A scuffling sound drew her attention. It was coming from up the hall towards the main jailhouse. 2 guards posted outside her cell looked towards the din, shifting nervously. What came next was completely unexpected. A pink mare with a curly mane bounced past the guards with a wide grin and an energetic greeting before she got to the end of the hall and turned toward them, looking confused. The guards snapped into action after a second to pick up their jaws off the floor. They stood in front of her, positioning themselves to cut off any escape.
You there! What are you doing here?
The strange pink pony looked between the two with an innocent smile.
I'm sorry. Is this not the all-night fondue party? I was so excited because I just love fondue so much. I just had to come. Don't you like fondue? Who doesn't like fondue? I mean, it's so tasty and yummy and warm, not to mention it's just fun to say. Fondue, fondue. Come on, say it with me.
Wubbsy and the guards were staring at her in disbelief as she prattled on, seemingly completely oblivious to the position she found herself in. It was such an incredible sight that Wubbsy, in her position behind the guards, was only able to see the quick red blur that dashed up behind the guards and dropped each one with a quick forehoof to the back of the neck, right under where their helmet's protection ended. The party mayor looked up at the shadowy red figure standing over the guards.
Took you long enough. I was running out of things to say. Well, I never really run out of things to say because I just have so much that I always want to talk about, and talking with ponies is one of my favorite things ever. But really, could you have taken any longer to...
The stream of babble was cut off by the red pony putting a hoof over her mouth.
Yup.
He took the keys from one of the fallen guards and began sorting through them, looking for the one that would open the door to Wubbsy's cell. Wubbsy, for her part, retreated from the two ponies and sat against the wall furthest from the cell door. She could envision what these two were here for. She didn't recognize the pink chatty one, but the quiet red one was the pony who had alerted Clear to where she had been hiding. If he was here, it was likely he intended to make sure Twilight didn't get the chance to set her free. The stallion stepped into the cell, noticing the changeling's reaction.
Easy, Critter. I made a mistake. We're here to help.
So that was it. He was here to make amends. Wubbsy rose and took a step towards him before she froze again as a new thought struck her. Vinyl Octavia. They would be blamed if she left. It would be assumed that they had something to do with it. She wasn't about to cause them any more grief. Again, she sat down on the cold stone floor.
Come on now. You ain't safe here.
Aw, she doesn't want to leave, Mackie. She's worried about what's going to happen to Vinyl and Octavia. If she just disappears, it's going to look like they broke her out, since they're the only ones who have tried to protect her. Well, besides Twilight.
The one called Big Macintosh looked at the hyperactive one over.
Pinky, how'd you know that's what she's thinking?
I don't know. Isn't it obvious? Here, I have an idea.
The poofy main one trotted into the cell and reached under the cot, pulling a stone loose and extracting a black marker.
How'd you know that was there?
Oh, I have markers stashed all over Ponyville in case of a marker emergency.
With that, she walked over the wall, furiously scribbling for a few minutes before standing back to admire her work.
Think that'll do it?
Nope.
He pointed at the guard.
We should just tell them who we are. Make sure they know who did it.
Aw, but that's no fun. We should just do it. I think it's a much funnier idea.
All right. Do what you wanna. I'm gonna make sure we're the ones who take the heat.
Big Mac slowly and gently pulled a guard into the cell and closed the door, making sure Pinky was outside it. Then he reached through the bars and lightly slapped his cheek a few times to bring him back to consciousness.
Hey there. Sorry about having to knock you out like that. Just wanted to make sure you saw that.
He pointed a hoof over to the wall, drawing the guard's attention to Pinky's scribbling.
Right. I'll let you back to your nap.
The guard nodded weakly and once more returned to unconsciousness, causing Mac to feel guilty all over again for having to resort to such methods. Satisfied that Vinyl Octavia were in the clear, Pinky, Mac, and Wubbsy hurriedly left the jailhouse, leaving a drawing of the two conspirators escorting a changeling out of the jail cell with the caption, "We did it, signed Pinkie Pie and Big Macintosh." The two ponies made a beeline for the edge of town, escorting the fugitive changeling. The red stallion stayed close to Wubbsy, guiding her while a cotton candy motion blur dashed around like a caffeinated squirrel, keeping watch for any ponies who might see them and alert the guard. They soon reached the edge of the everfree forest and stopped. The large pony smiled down at Wubbsy.
Get going, Critter, and good luck.
Yeah, you better bust flank. They're going to be pretty sore about waking up to find you missing.
Wubbsy looked back and forth between her new friends. Something about this didn't seem right. They'd helped her, now she was just supposed to leave them and to answer for it? She gave a conflicted look from them to Ponyville, to the forest behind her, and back again, trying to come up with a solution that would work for all involved, but none came to her. This was it. This was what she'd been dreading. She was going to have to leave every pony she loved behind. She smiled in silent thanks to the two ponies who were risking everything for her safety. She turned around and was about to leave when a large red hoof fell on her shoulder, holding her back.
I don't think we can pack love to go, but least we can do is fill your belly.
And with that, his hooves wrapped around her, embracing her in a deep hug while she felt his love trickle into her. The moment he released her and her hooves hit the ground, she was caught up in another much tighter hug from the bouncy pink one. The flow of love this time was much freer and flowed readily from the pony's heart into Wubsy's.
Good luck, little changeling. Don't worry your little changeling head about a thing. We'll let Vinyl and Octavia know you're safe. Just leave it to your Auntie Pinky.
When she pulled away, Wubsy was shocked to see tears streaming down her cheeks. The pony seemed to notice her surprise.
I barely even got to know you. I wish we had gotten more time. I never gave you a welcome to Ponyville party or anything. I guess once I get out of jail or whatever they're going to do to me, I'll just have to invite Octavia and Vinyl to a Wubsy made a great escape party instead.
The changeling gave a bittersweet smile and nod once again and turned to go. She trotted to the tree line and looked back to her two new friends waving at her, both with tears running down their faces. The changeling returned their waves and then disappeared into the forest. The next morning, Twilight woke up to the sound of some pony knocking on the door downstairs. She got out of bed and looked over at the basket on the floor, which was, as she knew it would be, empty. She smiled to herself and headed downstairs and answered the door, finding 5 ponies with looks of panic on their faces. Twilight chanced to glance at her clock. No, not time yet.
Okay, something obviously has you all pretty worked up. Why doesn't some pony explain to me what's going on?
This was met with an ear-splitting cacophony as every pony attempted to speak at once. Twilight tried to impose some order on the chaotic ruckus. Or was it a fracas?
Okay, hush. Okay. Rarity, why don't you explain?
Rarity took a deep breath and let loose.
The changeling disappeared. The guard hasn't released any details, but they're combing the town for it. She escaped last night and no pony is sure what happened.
Oh, I know what happened.
Every pony in the room turned to look at her in surprise.
You do? Why didn't you say something sooner?
Because we needed Twilight here to provide a viewpoint for the exposition. Duh!
Twilight gave her a puzzled look.
What?
Never mind that. What do you mean you know what happened?
Oh, that's easy. Me and Big Mac went and broke her out of the slammer last night.
Twilight was aghast.
You did what?
I just told you. We freed Wubsy. Didn't you hear me? Is something wrong with your hearing? Is that why you're shouting now?
Well, hold up just one apple bucket minute. Are you telling me you went off in the middle of the night, dragged my brother off down some full mission to stage a jailbreak? What in the world was going on through your head, Pinky?
Not a whole lot, really. He asked for help and I just decided to go with him.
Twilight's eyes widened, utterly shocked at this new information.
But why would you do that?
Well, you see, last night I got a new signal on my pinky sense. It was an itchy knee, neck pop, tail twitch, which I interpret as the changeling is innocent.
Twilight shook herself, struggling to comprehend the pink enigma.
Really?
Pinky laughed and shook her head.
Of course not. That would be terrible writing. Big Mac showed up at the bakery last night and asked me to help her out.
Seeing that Twilight still wasn't following her line of thought, totally understandable really, Pinky decided to delve deeper in.
When we came over the other night and you got all angry, we decided to leave so you could cool off. We talked it over afterward and decided you needed our help. So when Mac showed up, I jumped at the chance to help poor little Wubsy go free.
Twilight paced the floor, looking a lot less thrilled about the news than Pinky had been expecting.
I see. So she's not here anymore. That does make things a bit more complicated. No other choice. We'll have to push up our plans.
Twilight?
Rarity stepped forward hesitantly and placed a hoof on her friend's shoulder.
Are you okay? You seem a little, well, gloomy about this. I would have thought you'd be happy that Pinky took it upon herself to help.
Oh, I am.
Twilight switched back to a cheerful disposition far more quickly than seemed entirely natural.
There's just some information she didn't have that changes the situation a bit. We can't talk about it here. There's no telling who could be listening.
She turned and started walking toward the passage that led to the basement.
If you could follow me downstairs, I can explain everything.
Her friends looked at each other in concern. She was acting strange again, but she had offered to explain what was happening.
All right, Twilight. We'll come with you.
Fluttershy stepped up, a frown increasing her face.
Yes, we trust you. We're your friends. I know you would never lie to us if something were bothering you because you can trust us to listen and help.
Twilight froze, seemingly unable to take the first step down the stairs.
No.
Twilight, is something wrong?
I can't do it.
What is it, Twilight? Why can't you do?
No, that's not true. They're my friends. I won't do it.
Twilight screamed, shaking her head violently. Then she turned to her friends and spoke in an urgent voice.
Run! There are changelings in Ponyville. They came in under the shield through one of the Diamond Dog tunnels.
Useless unicorn.
They all turned to see Chrysalis standing by the front door, her features contorted with rage.
All you had to do was lead them into the basement, but you couldn't even do that properly.
It's over, Chrysalis.
Twilight shook her head to clear the last remnants of the mind control spell she had been under.
They know your changeling are here. Wubsy is gone. You failed.
Far from it. I still have this entire town in my grasp, including all of you, the very elements of harmony.
A loud buzzing sounded from the basement stairwell, and a swarm of changelings burst from the passage, subduing the ponies and dragging them down to the basement. 6 ponies hung upside down in the basement under the Ponyville Library, cocooned up to their necks. Rarity and Twilight had their horns covered in magic-resistant material to ensure they could not magic their way to freedom. Beside them hung Spike, completely encased and struggling to fight his way free.
Don't open the window, you said. Would be rude, you said. Come back in the morning, you said. Next time, I'm opening the bucking window.
Agreed. But I still say your man could use a little more attention.
Oh, would you two quit your yammering? In case you haven't noticed, we got more important things to deal with.
Chrysalis paced in front of them, watching her changelings cocooning the ponies with a gloating look on her face. This was delicious. Finally, she would have her revenge for being humiliated in Canterlot.
Oh, is this too much for your little pony brains to piece together? Do I need to explain it all in little words? I think it's pretty obvious what's happening. You've had changelings in town this whole time, draining all the positive emotions out of every pony. That's why every pony was so quick to fall for Wubsy's execution when she was discovered. I thought it was strange that every pony felt killing her was the best option.
Pinky wriggled in her cocoon, building up steam as she went over her theory.
And I'm guessing sometime last night after we left the library, you paid Twilight a visit and put her under your control. I was wondering why we were all feeling so negative while we were at the library. Mob mentality and paranoia are believable reasons for every pony to be acting strange, but we've been through situations a lot more divisive than last night. It takes more than a minor disagreement to split the elements of harmony.
She locked eyes with Chrysalis.
You were there waiting for us to leave so you could take Twilight. You needed her out of the way so you could drop the shield spell she's been maintaining and overrun this town. How's that?
Chrysalis had a genuinely surprised look on her face, and she clopped her front hooves together in a slow applause.
Right on the money, Pony. I'm legitimately impressed. It's just a shame you figured it out much too late. There's only one thing I can't put my hoof on. Maybe you could clear it up for me. Oh, I don't see why not. You did earn it by figuring out my plan. I don't see where filling in the gaps could hurt, and it's not like the information will be of much use to you at this point.
Pinky nodded, an intensity in her eyes that her friends had never imagined she could embody.
Why are you after Wubsy?
Chrysalis lifted an eyebrow curiously.
After her? Why? Why would I be after her? She was working for me the whole time. I'm not buying that for an instant, Chrysalis.
Pinky smiled, sensing she was driving the Changeling Queen into a corner.
You told us yourself this is all about Wubsy. That's why you were so upset when you figured out Mac and I set her free, isn't it? If she was still under your control, you'd have known she was gone.
For the second time, Chrysalis looked taken aback at her insight.
I have to admit, I think I underestimated you. You're much cleverer than I gave you credit for. I'm much more clever than most ponies give me credit for. Now if you would answer the question. So this is the part of the story where the villain exposes the details of her evil scheme and provides you with all the information you need to formulate a plan to stop her. I'm afraid I can't. You see little details about how I got in. I'm more than happy to share, seeing as I'm already in, and you can't really stop that anymore. But as to why, I'm afraid that has to be my little secret.
Chrysalis turned and started up the stairs.
It's because she's getting stronger than you, isn't it?
Chrysalis wheeled around with fury on her face, fangs bared. She was across the room in an instant, rewarding Pinky's guess with a backhoof slap across the jaw.
Get this straight, Bubblegum,
the Queen hissed, all pretense of sophisticated and lift attachments stripped in her way, revealing the snarling, vicious beast underneath the facade.
The runt is not stronger than me. I'm the queen of this swarm. I'm the powerful one. She's refuse, and I'm here to make sure she remembers that. And once I'm done with that, I'm turning your precious little town into my personal buffet table.
In the light of morning, two ponies lay on their bed trying to find comfort in their shared embrace.
Vinyl, are you still awake?
Of course I am. I haven't slept a wink. I can't stop worrying about Wubsy. Do you think Twilight will be able to convince every pony to set her free?
I honestly don't know, Vinyl. Under any other circumstances, I'd say it was a given, but it scares me how every pony's been acting lately. I would never have thought that they could be capable of an execution in the first place. We have to be prepared for the possibility that we could lose Wubsy.
They lay in silence for several minutes after that, trying to contemplate life without the little changeling that had come to their home just a few months ago. It was strange just how quickly Wubsy had become a member of their family, completely irreplaceable in love like their own child. They were ripped out of their ruminations by several shadows passing over the window.
What was that?
Vinyl leapt out of the bed and threw open the blinds, staring in horror at the scene before her. The shield around the town was completely gone, and changelings were running rampant through the town, chasing ponies down and dragging them away.
Octavia! The town is under attack! There are changelings everywhere!
Octavia jumped out of bed as well and looked out the window, watching in disbelief as a young mare she knew as Sparkler was swarmed by the beast and pulled into a nearby alley.
Vinyl, do you think Wubsy had something to do with this?
Not my Wubsy.
Vinyl moved towards her nightstand.
She's too sweet and loving for it all to have been an act, and not hearing a word otherwise.
Then, what's we going to do?
Vinyl grabbed her glasses off the nightstand and put them in place over her eyes.
Saddle up. We're going to defend our town.
The forest seemed so strange to her, so alien. Shadows shifted and reached for her with each step, perfectly reflecting the shadows clawing for her in her own mind. The gnarled and twisted trees looked as though they were conspiring to draw her deeper into the woods before they grabbed her and spirited her away. By far, the most terrifying part of the dark woods which she trod was the absence of the light she had come to associate with the faces of two particular mares. The presence of their loving energy was a gaping void in her heart, not to mention her belly. It struck her as odd that she had ever called such a place home, that she'd ever lived without the love Vinyl and Octavia had shared with her. Her hooves squelched through the undergrowth with each step as she contemplated her options. The same three options she had been presented with when she first arrived in Ponyville. She could go back to the swarm, hunt on her own, or lay down and give up. Again, none of her options were very appealing. But this time, the reasons for her distaste were very much changed. She sojourned on regardless, committed to her decision to keep moving until she either discovered a solution or was unable to carry on. Walking seemed the better option than flying. Her destination wasn't a function of distance, so it hardly mattered how fast she moved. Wubsy's ears perked. That whisper. Was that it? She strained to filter out the ambient sounds of the forest around her and key in on the sound that had caught her attention. Nothing came through. No hint of the noise that had set off the alarms in her subconsciousness. There! There it was again! It was so distinct that she was surprised she had any difficulty hearing it at all. It was the sound that used to inspire hunger in her. It used to drive her. The sounds of screaming, of running, of insect wings whipping the air in a 1,000-strong chorus.
They're hunting.
Wubsy stood rooted in place.
The swarm is attacking Ponyville. The ponies that tried to kill me are getting what they deserved.
Her mind, of course, went to the ponies that had helped her, that had been kind to her. She toyed with the idea of helping those select few escape, but no. To do such a thing would be putting her own life on the line. The odds of success were minuscule.
One more body isn't going to do any pony any good.
Her instincts buzzed clearly in her head. It was her survival weighed against that of a town of executioners. Even Vinyl, Octavia, and their friends didn't tip the balance. They were collateral losses.
Just like I was when the swarm abandoned me. It's unfortunate, but that's the way the world works.
Wubsy turned her back on the town, walking deeper into the forest, and her fate, thoughts whizzing about her head.
They tried to kill me. I have no responsibility to them after what they did to me. I'm totally justified in walking away and saving my own skin.
Wubsy slowed and finally stopped, once more looking back toward the town she had called home these past few months.
But if all that is true, then why do I feel so guilty?
Octavia ran full tilt through the streets of the town. She chanced to glance behind her, 2 changelings literally snapping at her tail. She poured on all the speed she had in her reserve, her heart thudding in her chest as she made every attempt to outdistance them. A 3rd changeling appeared in front of her, cutting off her path. She muttered an oath under her breath as she was forced to quickly change direction, darting into a nearby alley with the hoofbeats of 3 changelings now directly behind her.
I hope you know what you're doing, Vinyl.
She kicked back to interrupt a particularly vicious snap from the jaws of one of her pursuers. A wave of bright blue light swept through the alley from a building to the side. The blast caught all 3 changelings, throwing them up against the wall opposite and dazing them in the process. Octavia skittered to a halt, leaning up against the alley wall trying to catch her breath as well, as Vinyl Big Macintosh, the latter with a coil of rope around his neck, emerged from the doorway.
Did you see that, Tabby?
Vinyl looked over the changelings crumpled on the ground.
I got them all in one shot, and they didn't even get you this time.
Oh, that's great. Vinyl, remind me again. Why do I have to be the bait?
Because I have to be here to knock them out while Mac ties them up and lugs them inside. Speaking of which, get to work, Butch.
Yep. Mac gave a light-hearted salute and then unwound his rope, using it to restrain the changelings. Octavia pouted.
All I'm saying is that the 2 of you get to wait in the shadows safe and sound while I go out there and play the part of appetizer for a swarm of hungry predators. It hardly seems fair.
Vinyl threw a hoof over Octavia's shoulder and spoke in a low, conspiratorial whisper.
Hey, Come on, Tabby. Don't be like that. We're all part of this little scheme. Listen, I can tell you that Mac is where he is because of his muscle, and I'm where I am because of magic. And that just left you to play the stooge, but that would be true.
Vinyl looked around the small alleyway to make sure no pony was listening.
I'll tell you the truth, Tabby, but this can't get back to Big Mac.
Octavia leaned in, listening intently to Vinyl's confession.
What is it? What didn't you tell me?
I chose all our roles very carefully based on our skills.
Vinyl's voice dropped lower and lower as she continued.
Mac is obviously the strongest, and I'm only one with magic. But you have something neither of us that makes you perfectly suited for this mission.
Octavia leaned in closer, having to strain to hear Vinyl at this point.
What? What is it?
Vinyl's voice was barely audible at this point.
The reason you're acting as bait, and it would break Big Mac's heart if he found out, is because you're more alluring than he is.
Vinyl lunged forward, planting a sloppy wet kiss on Octavia's lips. Vinyl pulled away from the kiss.
Vinyl, can't you ever be serious?
She realized her mistake too late, hearing her voice echo through the alley and over the town. Her ears flattened against her skull as if trying to muffle the growing sounds of insectoid wings in the cramped alleyway. A group of changelings appeared over the edges of the roofs on either side of them, crawling slowly down the wall towards the three ponies below.
Run for it!
All three ponies bolted for the end of the alley, desperate to escape the approaching changelings.
Get to the apartment. I have an idea.
The three ponies turned and rushed through the streets of Ponyville, the snarling and snapping of their pursuers serving as an excellent motivation not to slow down. They bobbed and weaved through the back alleys, making every attempt to slow down the changelings on their tail.
Split up. Everybody go separate ways. See if we can confuse them. Meet up at the apartment.
Octavia and Mac nodded and peeled off, each rushing down a different alley with a different group of changelings in tow. Vinyl lowered her head and rushed headlong through the streets, looping and diving and doubling back. Every trick she could think of to try and shake those changelings who were still doggedly chasing her down. She pulled into a tight left-hand turn into the marketplace and immediately leapt to one side, dodging the market stall she knew was hiding there, just out of sight from the corner. Her pursuers, on the other hand, had no such knowledge and whipped around the corner at full velocity as slammed face first into the stall. Vinyl chuckled as she heard the crash and gave a quick glimpse to confirm she had just incapacitated 3 of the 5 changelings that had been chasing her. Halfway across the market, she was relieved to be joined once more by Octavia, who, she had noticed, had managed to rid herself of all but one changeling.
Where's Mac?
I don't know, but I thought I heard him yell. They might have gotten him.
Vinyl nodded solemnly and added an extra burst of speed which Octavia matched. The two moved in tandem, heading straight for the apartment. Vinyl slammed the security door the moment they passed through, and the two musicians dashed upstairs, stopping breathlessly outside their apartment.
The door is locked!
Octavia screamed in panic, shuffling through her saddlebag.
Where's the key? Where's the key?
A pounding sound from downstairs confirmed her fear. The changelings were ramming themselves against the door in an effort to gain entry. Octavia rivaled furiously through her bag, getting more and more desperate to find her keys.
Book it!
She whipped her head with a surge of blue light from her horn, and the wooden door exploded inward in a shower of splinters. A loud metallic bang from downstairs told them the changelings had finally managed to break in there as well. Vinyl and Octavia dashed through the door moments before the changelings swarmed up the stairs and into the entry hall, now joined by several more of the insect-like ponies who'd come to investigate the loud banging. The changelings surged like a chittering, clacking wave into the open door, scrambling to reach the ponies. A split second later, they rushed out twice as fast, borne out the door through the hallway by a wave of thunderous bass.
Woo!
Vinyl emerged from the door, her ears ringing from the explosion of sound.
Did you see that, Tabby? Man, I should put wheels on that setup. It was like a fucking bass cannon or something.
Her crowing was cut short when a familiar figure rushed up the stairs.
Vinyl, Octavia, I need your help. Get inside and I'll explain.
All three of them moved into the bedroom and barred the door. Twilight gave a breathless sigh with a swirl of green fire and was replaced by a black chitinous form. Octavia moved on instinct, grabbing a nearby lamp and smashing it over the changeling's head with a startled scream. Vinyl leapt over to Octavia, grabbing her hoof before the frightened cellist could strike another blow.
Tabby, chill! That's Wubsy!
How do you know? They all look the same.
Vinyl knelt down beside the dazed changeling who was rubbing the bump on her head.
You just start to get a feeling for these things, Tabby. I'm not exactly sure how, but I know in my heart that this is a changeling that spent all those months in our home. This is my little Wubsy.
Wubsy shook her head to clear the stars from her vision and reached up, hugging Vinyl close. The DJ returned the hug, tears dripping from her cheeks and onto Wubsy's carapace.
I thought I'd never see you again. I was so worried.
She sniffed, wiping tears out of her eyes with a hoof.
Ugh, look at me getting all mushy.
They shared a hug for a minute before Wubsy pulled away, once again becoming Twilight so she could speak.
We have to get out of here. We need to find Twilight and her friends and get out of town.
Vinyl Octavia looked at her in disbelief.
We can't go, Wubsy. This town is in danger. This is our home. Those ponies out there are our family and friends. We can't just abandon them. We have to fight.
Fight? You want to fight? Fight to save the ponies who just yesterday were ready to execute me for being a changeling?
Vinyl sighed, her voice heavy with sadness.
Wubsy, I know your impression of the rest of the town isn't very good right now, but these are my friends. I know them. I don't know what's going on, but the crowd we saw last night wasn't the ponies I know. Please, Wubsy, give them a chance.
Why should I? What kind of assurance do I have that as soon as it's all over, they aren't going to go straight back to wanting me dead? Why should I give them a chance to hurt me again?
Vinyl felt like she'd been slapped. Hearing Twilight's voice and Wubsy's by proxy, filled with such rage and venom, cut deep into her soul. Here was a creature she'd shown nothing but kindness and love, a being she had nurtured and defended, that now stood ready to abandon Ponyville to its fate. Vinyl took a deep breath, studying herself.
Because you wouldn't be here if some pony hadn't given you the same chance.
Wubsy flinched at the implication.
That's different. I didn't know what I was doing.
Neither do they. They had no idea what you were. They thought you were one of those things. How could they have possibly known you were different?
They could have asked me. They could have listened to you. They could have done anything other than immediately trying to kill me.
They made a mistake. They aren't perfect. They jumped to conclusions and almost destroyed something precious without realizing it. Please, Wubsy. They don't deserve a second chance, but please, give them one. Don't become like them.
Wubsy growled and turned toward the door.
I'm rescuing the ponies who gave me a chance. After that, I'm leaving. Any pony who wants to go with me is welcome. Any pony who wants to stay and die, that's their choice.
With that, she let her disguise drop, signaling in no uncertain terms that the conversation was over and her mind made up. Vinyl Octavia followed Wubsy through town. Apparently, the sight of the two being escorted by a changeling was enough to ensure they weren't attacked. It was surreal to the two ponies. They walked through the town in peace, the eye of the storm as destruction and chaos swirled around them. Changelings buzzing and darting around, chasing down the few ponies who hadn't already been subdued. Ponies screaming and crying. Vinyl fought the urge to leap to their defense. Right now, the important thing was to free the elements. They approached the library undisturbed. The three of them started for the door when Wubsy froze.
What's wrong?
Wubsy raised a hoof to her ear. Vinyl Octavia listened carefully and suddenly realized what was wrong.
They stopped. The buzzing. It's all stopped.
A quick look around confirmed their worst fears. All the changelings around the library were sitting silently, watching, waiting.
What's going on? If they know we're not supposed to be here, why haven't they attacked?
A haughty voice came from the library door as it swung open.
Because I've told them not to.
The changeling queen, Chrysalis, emerged from the doorway, eyeing the small group with an expression somewhere between hunger and amusement. She marched straight up to the trio and looked casually at Wubsy, who glared at her in turn.
So this is the little stray I've been sensing? How pathetic. I suppose you've come to beg me to accept you back into my swarm.
She gestured with her hoof towards the other two.
And look, you've even brought gifts. How very thoughtful.
Wubsy snarled at the queen, moving into a protective stance in front of her friends.
No? How sad. That means I'll have to kill you. Unfortunately, I'm a little busy conquering this mud hole right now. Besides, I promised the honor to an old friend of hers.
She grinned maliciously as Lyra emerged from the library, a vicious smile on her face, and the telltale green glow of mind control magic in her eyes.
Guard the library, Lyra. The changeling and her little puppets are trying to destroy the elements. And look, she has your darling Octavia in her thrall as well. Don't harm the ponies, but kill the changeling.
Lyra nodded numbly. Her voice was distant as though she was distracted.
Yes, Princess. I won't let that monster harm the elements. I'll free Octavia. The changeling will die.
She's such a good pawn. Her hatred for changelings was so powerful that when I offered her a chance to kill you, her mind opened up to me like a flower. Ironic, really. All that hatred and rage towards changelings made her vulnerable to me.
She patted the mint green unicorn on the head.
Put that hatred to good use, my little mind slave.
And with that, her wings buzzed and she flew off towards the town hall, chuckling to herself. Octavia stepped forward, her eyebrows knit in concern.
Lyra, listen to me. I'm safe. You don't have to.
Lyra ignored her pleas and launched herself at Wubsy, bellowing an infuriated shriek. Wubsy managed to sidestep her rush and brought her hind hooves up, bucking her back and feeling a satisfying impact of her hooves making contact with the unicorn's jaw. Lyra dropped, spitting blood on the ground as she scrambled back onto her hooves, her jaw at an awkward angle, battered but intact. Octavia and Vinyl shouted urgently from the sidelines, trying to pull Lyra back, but their pleading fell on deaf ears. She lunged again, unable to notice or simply undeterred by the pain. Her hoofs swung wide, but she wasn't a hunter. She didn't have the reflexes of a predator or a fighter's instinct. Wubsy ducked the blow, watching as Lyra spun, having overcommitted to the attack. The Lyra seemed to be moving in a slow motion as Wubsy brought her left forehoof around and slammed it into her ribs. Lyra crumpled on the ground, whimpering and writhing. Then, she slowly started to stand again. Wubsy decided it was past time she ended this. She delivered a vicious kick to Lyra's face, causing the pony to cringe and scream with pain. Wubsy reared back, ready to bring her hooves down on the pony's face and trample it into the ground, her anger and fury making her see red as she prepared to deliver justice and end the life of the one who tried to end hers.
Wubsy!
She stopped. Her front hooves in air, she froze before diving for the fatal blow. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Vinyl Octavia, huddled together and trembling in fear. They were afraid of her, of what she might do. They were so concerned with the pony that had made their lives so difficult. Wubsy came down, her hooves striking the dirt on either side of Lyra's head and causing the unicorn to flinch. Wubsy stared at Lyra's bruised and swollen face. She stared into her eyes, searching, questing. She had to know. She saw the bitter rage that drove Lyra's hatred of her. She saw the need to redeem herself. But deeper than that, hidden in the depths of her eyes, she found something she recognized. Love. Lyra loved this town. She loved the ponies in it. And if it cost her her life, she would gladly give it to protect the one she loved. Wubsy stepped over her and walked towards the library.
Lyra was right. I really am a monster. Here I am wanting to be forgiven for what my mother made me do, and I'm ready to kill Lyra for the same reason.
Her recriminations were cut short, however, by the sudden buzzing of 1,000 wings. The changelings that had been watching the encounter were closing in, apparently ready to finish the job should Lyra fail. And, Wubsy knew, to devour the 3 ponies once she was dead. The swarm took wing, diving for the fresh meal presented to them. Wubsy looked around desperately, searching for some way out of the situation she was in. She was trying to find some way to stop the torrent of changelings intent on consuming her friends.
No, I won't let it happen. I won't let them hurt Vinyl or Octavia or Lyra.
The thought of defending Lyra caused a surge in her heart, a swell of love pouring into her from an unknown source, a surge of compassion and strength, and she couldn't understand the origin of it. Then realization struck. It was coming from inside her. Seeing Lyra's love for Ponyville had caused her to realize how alike they were, how they would give anything to defend their loved ones. For the first time, Wubsy found she loved the little town that love swelled inside her, giving her strength. She lunged, putting herself in the path of swarming attackers with a voice she had never heard in the history of Equestria.
No!
Blazing white light erupted from her horn, blinding the oncoming changelings as it washed over them. When the light finally faded, Wubsy was standing over Lyra protectively as the swarm buzzed away in panicked disarray. Lyra shifted, looking up at Wubsy in disbelief.
You saved me?
Yes, I did.
Her new voice was small and weak, with the atrophy of a lifetime of disuse.
But why?
The green glow in her eyes was slowly fading.
I don't really know. You've made my life hell. At every turn, you've made things difficult for me and my loved ones. But...
Wubsy looked out over the town, watching the swarm retreat.
But I'm not one of them. I'm a protector, not a killer. And there's good in your heart. Good that deserves protecting.
She looked back down at Lyra, a small, unsure smile on her face.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, I love you. And I'm not going to let them hurt the ponies I love.
The green glow in Lyra's eyes disappeared and she shook her head.
You really do want to help us, don't you?
Lyra bit her lower lip and furrowed her brows, looking away.
Okay, listen. I'm still not totally convinced that this isn't all some changeling trick, but we're out of options, I guess.
She extended her hoof towards Wubsy cautiously.
I guess for now we can call a truce until I know for sure, alright?
Wubsy smiled and shook the offered hoof. At this sign of their reconciliation, Vinyl Octavia rushed over to join them.
Fucking hell! You could talk! Like, for real now, instead of borrowing some pony else's voice. How did that happen?
Wubsy shrugged.
I'm not sure. I guess I just kind of grew up. Let go of the things that were holding me back.
Vinyl beamed.
I'll say you did. You blasted an entire swarm out of the sky. You've got to be one seriously heavy hitter.
No, not really. I just startled them and they ran off. If they had kept coming, I wouldn't have been able to hold them all off. If we're going to save the town, we're going to need the elements to help.
It was Octavia's turn to smile.
Then you do want to help us save the town?
Of course. This is my home. Besides, I think I have a plan.
Chrysalis stood triumphantly in the town square, just outside of the town hall. Her changelings swarmed around her, and the mayor knelt before her, thoroughly cowed.
Have you considered my offer, Mayor? Turn the town over to me, and its inhabitants survive. They'll be very well taken care of. They'll be fed, given lodgings, everything cattle need.
The mayor raised her head to look at the changeling queen, her eyes glowing a sickly green.
If you promise not to harm them, the town is yours.
Excellent. Then with a new mayor, we hardly need the old one, don't we?
Her horn glowed a poisonous shade of emerald that the mare seemed not to notice. The wizened gray mare maintained her kneeling posture as Chrysalis leveled her horn and let loose a bolt of lethal magic. The bolt struck true, kicking up a massive plume of dust as Chrysalis laughed. The town was hers. No pony could stand in her way now. Chrysalis stared into the dust cloud, waiting to see the limp corpse of the mare. But as the dust settled, she was astonished to see not one silhouette standing in the square, but two. Her eyes bulged in disbelief as she realized there was a changeling standing between her and her target, a shimmering blue barrier emanating from her horn.
Hello, Mother. I think it's time we had a little chat.
Chrysalis snarled and gathered her power once more, this time putting in enough strength to shatter the pathetic shield and leave both ponies in a smoking crater. But before she could shape and release her spell, a flash of panic rushed through her mind.
Please stand by for technical difficulties. Think we lost Lars's.
Uh-oh. Winchester. Quick.
Her focus waved, and the energy she had gathered dissipated harmlessly as she was forced to turn her attention to the new threat. The report was clear. The elements of harmony were battling the swarm elsewhere, and what's more, they were winning.
A little distracted, Mother? Now you're in a tough spot. You can focus on beating me and let your attack force dwindle to nothing. That would leave you pretty helpless when the elements finally decide to come for you. You'd be weak, helpless. Even if you ran, they could follow you, or you could focus on them. You could direct the swarm and force the elements into retreat through sheer numbers, and that would open you up to attack. You wouldn't be able to stay focused on the battle at hoof, and I would kill you.
You kill me? I am the Changeling Queen. Even with a fraction of my attention, I could slaughter you. What makes you think you could come close to stopping me?
Wubsy crouched into a low attack posture, her horn beginning to glow a bright, radiant blue.
You still don't understand, Mother. That was your downfall at Canterlot, and it will be your end here. You don't understand what love is. Let me put it in terms you can understand. There are thousands of ponies here. I've been living amongst them undetected. I've been feeding from thousands just for myself, while you've had to share what scraps you have left from Canterlot between an entire swarm.
The blue glow intensified, becoming too bright to look at.
I know you felt my strength growing. It scared you. That's why you're here. You came to make sure I didn't become a threat to your power. Well, you're too late, Mother. I am a threat to you. I give you one last chance. Withdraw your forces and leave. Never let me hear word of you in Equestria ever again, because I will find you and I will only become more powerful in the meantime. If you ever get an inkling in your head to attack Equestria again, I want you to remember this.
A massive wave of magical force pulsed from the small changeling, causing Chrysalis to step back, as much as in shock as to keep her balance.
It is protected!
Wubsy's voice amplified far beyond what her diminutive throat should be able to produce.
You're bluffing. You must be. There's no way you could have that kind of power.
It's possible, but I know you, Mother. You're a coward, not a gambler. This town isn't worth the risk to you. Much better to flee and find a new place to feed. You won't risk your own life, and we know it. So if you think I'm bluffing, please feel free to try me.
For several long seconds, the two changelings stared at each other. An eternity seemed to stretch between them, but finally, Chrysalis looked away. The sky blackened as thousands upon thousands of changelings took flight, streaming into the sky in a mass retreat.
Fine. I'll let you have your little town, but mark my words, little one, this isn't over. I will find a way to make myself stronger than you, and I will return to repay you for this humiliation.
I'll be waiting.
And with that, the hive swarmed away. The moment they were out of sight, the power thrumming through the air around Wubsy dropped, and she collapsed on the ground, panting with exhaustion. Vinyl, Octavia, and Lyra emerged from the shadows where they'd been hiding, feeding Wubsy their love to power her theatric display.
You did great, Wubs. Really showed her who was boss. We're just lucky she didn't think to turn the swarm on you.
It wasn't luck.
Wubsy sneezed, rising to her hooves as Lyra and Octavia steadied her.
She was scared. Thought if she attacked me, I'd kill her. Couldn't risk it.
Lyra looked rather impressed. Either way, that was a hell of a thing. I think you even managed to... Hey, are you okay? You look a lit... Whatever Lyra was saying was cut off as the world span and darkened. Wubsy's world went black. Cold oblivion embraced her. Octavia stood, clad in a black dress. She made her way to the podium and addressed the ponies gathered there.
Thank you all for coming. As you all know, we're here to honor a true equestrian hero. Wubsy the Changeling showed great courage and loyalty to Ponyville and Equestria, facing down the most impossible odds to save us all. Without her, I can safely say this town would have been overrun.
Octavia gestured behind her, where a framed portrait of a smiling changeling, wreathed with flowers, was resting on a large ornate casket.
And so it is with the greatest of gratitude that we remember her courageous sacrifice, and with the heaviest of hearts that we honor her memory.
Vinyl couldn't take it anymore. She leaped from her seat and rushed to the casket, tears streaming down her face.
No! It's not true! It's not! She's alive! I know it!
The unicorn wrenched open the lid of the casket, grabbing Wubsy and embracing her lifeless corpse.
I know it's not true! Come on, Wubsy! You can't be dead after everything we did to keep you safe!
Big Macintosh stepped up behind Vinyl and gently tried to pull her away.
No!
Vinyl
shrieked, thrashing and struggling to break his strong grasp as he pried her from off Wubsy's body and began to pull her away.
No, stop it! Let me go! I have to see her! I need to wake her up! Wubsy! Wake up, Wubsy! Wake up! Wubsy. Wubsy, wake up. Come on, kiddo. You've been out for days. It's time to get up.
Wubsy blinked her eyes open, greeted by the sight of a familiar purple sunglasses perched on the face of a grinning white unicorn.
Hey, there she is.
I'm not dead?
Not yet, you aren't.
A pony Wubsy hadn't noticed spoke, a white unicorn mare with a red cross cutie mark.
Of course, once I realized your vitals got stronger, whenever they were around, I had to throw the standard visiting hours out the window and upgrade them from guests to treatment.
Lyra spoke from where she was sitting in the corner with Octavia.
So what do you say, nurse? Can she go?
Redheart frowned at one of the monitors but nodded her head.
Yes, I suppose. Just keep an eye on her. If she seems weak, I want her back here instantly.
Go? Go where? Vinyl, what aren't you telling me?
Vinyl gave a wide smile that was mirrored by Octavia, and Lyra behind her.
There's a big reception going on for you right now. Every pony is celebrating you saving the town. There's talk that Celestia is presenting you some kind of award. Plus, Pinky is throwing a big Wubsy Save Ponyville party afterwards. Can't be late to your own award ceremony, can you?
How could she be late? The entire ceremony has been waiting for her to wake up.
Wubsy beamed and threw off the hospital linens, leaving them in a crumpled mess on the floor. She leapt out of bed, feeling lighter than a Pegasus down, and grinned at all her friends.
No, we couldn't have that. Let's go.
They were headed out the door when Lyra cleared her throat.
Hey guys, could I get a moment alone with Wubsy? I need to say something.
Vinyl and Octavia looked at each other knowingly and accompanied Redheart out of the room, leaving Lyra and Wubsy in private.
Hey, so turns out I was right. You really did try to kill me.
Wubsy lifted her eyebrows skeptically.
Excuse me?
Lyra blushed and drooped her head.
In front of the library, you had me on the ropes and you were about to squash me like like a cider apple. Thing is, I deserved it. I was a real mule, no offense.
This last part she directed toward the door where a mule orderly was pushing a laundry cart past.
None taken.
The orderly bustled along down the hall. Lyra took a deep breath.
The point is, you could have killed me right there, but you didn't. You gave me a chance, and I guess I owe you the same. I'm sorry for what I did to you, and I hope that you can forgive me.
Lyra extended her hoof to Wubsy, timid little tremble running through her. Wubsy seized Lyra's hoof and pumped it enthusiastically.
Hey, we all make mistakes. You're protecting the ponies you love. That's definitely something I understand. Just remember to look before you leap next time.
Thanks, Wubsy. You're a good pony, changeling, whatever. Not sure what to call you anymore, but I guess it's not really important. What matters is you're good. I just wish I had realized that sooner. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to tell you. I tried to let you know before you passed out.
Lyra pointed her hoof past Wubsy's head, pointing at her flank.
Nice cutie mark.
Lyra left the room with a smirk as Wubsy turned to look at her own flank. True enough, gleaming there on her rump was the image of a bright red shield in the shape of a heart. She instinctively knew the meaning of the symbol.
I'm a protector. I fight to protect what I love. That's what I'm meant to do.
She straightened up and took a deep breath, filling with pride. Then, with a large smile, she set out on to start her life with her friends by her side.
Citizens of Ponyville.
Celestia's voice boomed over the crowd from the top of the town hall steps.
Thank you all for coming. As you all know, we're here to honor a true equestrian hero. Wubsy, the changeling, has showed great courage and loyalty to Ponyville and Equestria, facing down the most impossible odds to save us all. Without her, I can safely say this town would have been overrun.
Wubsy stood to the side with Octavia, Vinyl, and Lyra. She was completely astonished. The entire town had come to witness the ceremony, and Celestia herself was presiding over the celebration. It was surreal. Dreamlike, almost. Wubsy discreetly bit her tongue to make sure that she wasn't still unconscious. She'd been thrown from being hated and feared and to a celebrated hero so fast her head was still spinning. As she made her way down the carpet surrounded by throngs of ponies, she heard shouts of praise and encouragement. Ponies telling her what a good job she had done and how much they appreciated her help. Having ponies happy to see her instead of angry and fearful was a new experience for her. To be honest, it frightened her, though she wasn't entirely sure why.
And so, it is with the utmost gratitude that we recognize her bravery and great personal joy that I am able to be here to offer my thanks. However, Wubsy was not the only pony here to act admirably, so I do hope you'll forgive me for saving the mare of the hour for last.
The solar region turned and addressed Vinyl.
Vinyl Scratch, you took in some pony who is hurt and alone. You looked past her exterior and nurtured her potential, guiding her as she tried to find her place in the world. I present to you the Wayfarer Medal for your courage in facing the unknown.
Celestia levitated the medal from an ornate wooden box, and Vinyl bowed as the medal slipped over her neck. The princess moved along the line, coming to Octavia.
Octavia Philharmonica, you were able to move past yourself to help a pony in need. You supported Vinyl in her endeavors and learned the value of trust. You guided Vinyl and Wubsy and ensured their safety. I present you with the Navigator Medal for your leadership and grace.
Octavia also bowed and accepted her medal. Celestia turned and approached Lyra, whose ears went flat as she stammered.
I don't deserve any award, Princess. I persecuted an innocent pony due to my own prejudices.
Celestia smiled.
Lyra, you fought to protect your loved ones. You stuck to your convictions and remained faithful despite the cost. And yet, when confronted with the error of your ways, you chose to change and grow instead of stubbornly refusing to let go. And in the end, you were able to love even your enemy and put aside your differences. For that, I award you the Ambassador Medal.
Lyra was gobsmacked. She stood for several seconds with her mouth hanging open in shock before she remembered herself and bowed to accept her medal. Finally, Celestia reached Wubsy.
Wubsy, your exploits hardly need enumerating, but I will make an effort to do so. You turned away from your upbringing and changed who you were for the better. You moved past your birth and learned to be your own pony. You learned the importance of forgiveness and in the process reminded us all of its importance as well. And in the end, you faced your past and conquered it to save this land. For you, I present the Heart of Equestria, one of the highest honors I am able to award, for your selflessness in defense of this land and her ponies.
Wubsy bowed and accepted her medal, and the crowd exploded into a thunderous applause for the ponies on stage. Celestia turned to the crowd and smiled, extending a wing and lowering it in a gesture for silence.
While I appreciate the outpouring of support from you all, I am not finished quite yet. There are a couple more issues that need to be addressed. In light of recent events and the valorous behavior of Wubsy the Changeling, I have a few decrees I would like to announce. It is true that Wubsy was involved in the attack on Canterlot Castle. She was part of the invasion force, and as such, is culpable for the actions carried out that day.
Celestia turned and smiled at Wubsy.
However, after further investigation into the matter, it is my firm belief that she had no control over her actions and was coerced into participating. For this reason, and because of her service to Equestria since the attack, I decree that the changeling known as Wubsy has completed her reformation and made restitution as it is appropriate. I therefore grant her full royal pardon.
There was another round of thunderous applause, as well as whistling and cheering from the crowd. Again, Celestia signaled for silence.
Thank you. As ruler of Equestria, it is my duty to better Equestria in whatever way I can. I take this duty very seriously, and I am constantly seeking ways to improve our nation and make it the best nation it can possibly be. It is my conviction that Equestria is better for having Wubsy in it. So my second decree this day is that the changeling Wubsy is hereby offered equestrian citizenship with all the rights and permissions that includes. May she never go hungry again.
Total silence settled over the assembled ponies for several seconds. Then Celestia giggled.
All right, I'm finished now.
The cheering which followed could be heard for miles. Vinyl, Octavia, and Wubsy all stumbled into the apartment, passing a large hole in the hallway that was currently covered by a few old blankets nailed to the wall until it could be properly repaired. There had indeed been a party afterward thrown by Pinkie Pie to every pony's complete lack of surprise. As a direct result of this, all three ponies were very tired and very sloshed. They all headed for the bedroom, crawling into bed and getting comfortable under the covers. Wubsy in the middle and Vinyl Octavia embracing her from each side.
Good night, Wubs. Hope you had a good time.
Octavia shifted, kissing Wubsy on the forehead.
We're both very proud of you, Wubsy. Get some rest, okay? You earned it.
Wubsy smiled and leaned back in bed, cuddled up against the mirrors who had made her who she was. She couldn't sleep. She was too excited. After all, tomorrow was the day her life would begin. The end. And the epilogue.
Dear Princess Celestia, it's a little strange writing to royalty, but Twilight says you'd be delighted to hear what I learned recently, so I'll give it a try. I learned a valuable lesson about tolerance recently. I learned that no matter what some pony has done, they have the ability to change. I've learned forgiveness and understanding can go a long way to battle hatred, and that an open mind leads to an open heart. A changeling named Wubsy was found in town, as you know, and I was the one leading the charge against her. I let her status as a changeling and the fact that she had been a part of the Canterlot attack blind me to her potential. I was too hung up on what she had done and what she was to see who she was inside, or how special she really is. Because of her past, I almost took away her future. I've learned since then that no matter what a pony has done in the past, they have the capacity to change. They have the ability to better themselves and deserve the right to do so. Not allowing a pony to move beyond their past means that they will forever be defined by it. Refusing them the chance to improve robs them of their ability to become more than what they are. I've also learned that no matter what a pony is on the outside, great potential lies inside them. Assuming a pony is a certain way based solely on a label is ignorant and cowardly. It imprisons that pony inside boundaries of that label. They can never live up to their potential because they are never given the chance. Vinyl and Octavia are doing very well these days. We've finally buried the hatchet, and Bonbon and I often go on double dates with the two of them. Wubsy has been appointed as something of an unofficial guard for the town. Every pony loves seeing her around the town, and she has a lot of close friends, whom I count myself lucky to be amongst. I love being able to talk to her and laugh with her. She really is a special pony. I'm so glad she managed to survive my prejudices, and that she was willing to give me the forgiveness I denied her. She's a good mare. I would have lost something precious if she wasn't in my life. We all would have. In the end, I guess I learned that love and tolerance should always win out over hatred and prejudice. Not every pony is trustworthy, but every pony deserves the chance to earn a trust. Knee-jerk reactions and reflex persecution can destroy something precious before you even realize how special it was. Yours truly, Lyra Heartstrings.
And that is the end of the story.
It is.
Day can turn to night, and the darkness turn to light.
Oh, God.
Man, what an amazing story.
Can change.
I was really tempted to go and just, at the end, mute you guys, play that with Sora's wonderful image just here. Just...
Oh, is the image up? I haven't, I couldn't
tried
get
to-
into the stream.
Yeah, the image is up.
Yes, it does.
Oh.
I see it.
But by the way, I want to apologize for dropping out there. I'm a Windows insider, and the Insider Center decided to open and crash Windows while I was in the middle of the stream.
Excellent. Twice.
That sounds like the best.
Yeah,
Twice.
Well, sure.
That's the reason why the only time that I was really active in the Windows Insider was when Windows 10 was pre-release.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It was just coming up to remind me that I have an upgrade available if I want it, and because I'm just running stock Windows 10. By the way, Double R.
Yeah.
I just want to direct your attention towards the top right of the screen. The leftmost icon looks like a bell. That'll stop those sounds from coming out of Discord.
On the YouTube page or on the Discord?
On Discord.
On your Discord program, yeah.
Oh my god.
You can mute a channel.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh,
Yay.
wow. But
So, Larsus, does that mean your Windows Insider was being a fairy? Hey, listen, hey.
No,
Listen,
my Windows Insider. My Windows Insider was letting me know that was outside, inside out, and that wanted me to live La Vida Loca.
Oh my god.
So we had oh,
That was
Well,
painful.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit the hay. It's time for me to head off.
all right.
Is that an Applejack talking or is that Sora talking?
Little both.
Applejack is real?
Can't really tell.
Alright, good night.
It's Sora Jack.
Not Sugar Cube.
Sora Jack.
Good night, Sora.
Sora
Would you
Jack.
like any shout-outs?
Night, Sora.
Oh, whoa. Hey. Hey.
Lord.
Whoa.
Sky, you're a robot.
Ah, the changelings are back.
He is Skyray's a Borg, is what he is.
More like Optimus Pony came to visit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, Skyrays, before you fix that,
Alright,
can
should
you
be
say,
fixed.
Skyrays, damn it, I was gonna say before you fix it, can you say you will be assimilated, resistance is futile?
Or all your base are belong to us.
Oh my god.
Wait, hold on.
God.
Button work. There.
Bug?
All your base are belong to us.
Yep.
5 out of 7. That was perfect.
Can you say resistance is futile too?
He probably was like halfway through fixing it.
Yeah, I know.
Resistance is futile.
Damn it!
Resistance is futile.
That delay though.
For you.
There's
Fine.
a 7-second delay now.
It reminds me of a song,
You know-
My Little Transformer, My Little Transformer.
This is really shitty to watch. How do I fix it?
Are you
Just
listening
plug
Lee,
your
to
mic
a
would you
stream?
stop lubricating on every pony in town?
Just plug your
wait,
mic
what?
in and use it the way that it was intended. I didn't have this much issue when I set this up at Midwest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Winchester, from what
It's
you were
the
describing
driver,
about,
Winchester. There's nothing I can do.
from
You're not
what
supposed
you're
to be
describing to
using
me
a phone in
about
America.
your setup over there, Winchester. I just hear in my head dun 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 every time you ask me to help you troubleshoot it.
Oh, now you're kind of bad.
And the funny part is, like, well, that there wasn't like hardly anything like what Forrest said ended up fixing it. Fun fact: Focusrites don't like USB 3.0.
Yes,
Which
test.
is
Hey,
interesting.
there we go. Delay's gone.
Which
Yay.
is interesting, Winchester, because that's exactly what I have mine plugged into.
Well, I don't
have
know
all this
why.
time.
It was just after she recommended plug it into a 2.0 port. I plugged it into a 2.0 port. It worked fine.
You know, this is yet another reason you should get yourself a 6i6.
Mine's also plugged into the 3.0 port, and it's fine.
Fine. I don't care. Goodbye. I'll get rid.
Winchester.
I'll take the 2i4 back and get a 6i6.
I'm just giving you shit. So Sora, shoutouts.
Well, shoot.
Shout out to cider season.
Sure, let's go with that. And Advil. Shout out to Advil. I'm sorry if we get a strike, but you know what? Advil works wonders.
Shout
We're
out
not
to
sponsored
Dayquil and
by
NyQuil.
We are not sponsored by Dayquil and NyQuil.
But if we get
But we are sponsored by Tranquil.
but we are but now we are basically sponsored by Focusrite, so
which we are anything
Tranquil,
but.
made by horse.
Yeah, I know.
Tranquil is what the kids with ADD take every day.
Right. I'll just have to hit you guys with the tranquilizers, won't I?
Do I have to get the hot shot?
It's the alternate to Adderall.
Mm.
There's delay again.
Bye, Sora.
See you,
Bye,
Sora.
Sora. Say hi to Riku for me.
Hi, Sora.
If I ever find him again.
And from the makers of Tranquil comes Tranquil for Kids, now available on Ketamines.
And now Tranquil for kids. Quids. Tranquil for
Quid.
Now Tranquil
Five quid for Tranquil.
Why can't I say that? And now Tranquil for Kids comes in a new delivery method. Taser.
Mother approved.
They come in taser. I'm shocked.
I swear, you get to your room right now or
My son used to have his own hopes and ambitions. Now he has mine. Thanks, Obey.
Burke. So, thoughts, everybody.
Woof.
It was
Can you hear my dog?
I kept having issues with like understanding things.
I need to go back and reread the big part of this because that's when Windows decided to die. It was too intense for my Windows install, okay?
Yeah, Larsus, next time that happens, if you could like warn and text chat before you come in
So actually, I understand what you're saying. So what you're saying is next time I should use my Mac to stream.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because Winchester, you know what has never had any problems with my Focusrite ever? My Mac. It doesn't get the clicking. It doesn't get the ASIO issues because it doesn't need it. It just works with audio.
Blah, blah, Macintosh is perfect for audio editing.
Once I plugged it into USB 2.0, mine worked flawlessly.
I'm Blue Nose Reindeer, and I approve of this message.
Shut up, Blue Nose. Nobody... back to the fic, though. I loved this fic. This was awesome, but like the ending suddenly turned into the ending of Star Wars Episode 4.
Yeah.
So
and I was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm like fucking C-3PO's right there.
You weren't the only one. You should see Tokoi.
But who was R2D2?
Tokoi had the exact same idea.
Yes.
Double R, you
never
were
would have been able to do it without you, Scarecrow. I'm gonna miss you the most.
Luke.
All we know is that OSG is the Wookiee.
You know, Forrest, I also noticed this. My Windows install only crashed whenever I stood my microphone up so that I could stand up and read those lines a bit easier than in the chair here.
See, that's the problem, is you're not allowed to stand up.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what you're saying is Windows wants to make me a fat ass.
Yes!
That was what it was designed
Have you
for.
seen Bill Gates?
He's actually
Yes, I have. It's
Like,
not
imagine-
easy being me.
Imagine Numa Kid grew up and became a computer programmer. That's Bill Gates.
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna say the other thing I love about him is that you listen to him talking a speech there. It's not easy being in the green.
Kermit the Frog here.
Oh God.
Let's go play some ditties for the kiddies.
I guess everyone was happier though there was no lewd this time.
Yeah, that we're saving that for the fic that you and I are doing.
There was no lewd in that fic.
Yeah, no shower scene right at the beginning. With two of the most innocent people that we could possibly have in the stream.
I swear, the next
I
time.
felt so bad for Crusader.
The next time. Oh,
Nobody
God.
hears it.
I understand.
Dude.
No.
Crusader shared a room with me and Strack.
Yeah.
I think Strack. It was Strack, right? And like, Strack is like,
No limits.
yeah. I'm pretty sure everything and anything that could have been talked about, or any part of the body. that
No,
could
it was
have-
Garnica because I remembered you
Were you
pointing
guys
at my
at
shirt and said,
Crystal
I
Fair? I
slept
can't
with him
remember.
last night. And I was just like, what?
Wait.
I
You
don't
slept
remember
with him
this.
I slept in the same bed as Strack.
Wait, you got to sleep with
No, I'm pretty sure it was Garnica.
Yeah,
It was
but
Garnica.
by the way, just say.
Oh, it's Garnica? I keep
Oh, yeah,
confusing Strack and Garnica, and it's
Why do you-
because like
Why
it's
can't-
because Strack is in Source server.
Why do you keep getting to share the beds with other men? Seriously.
I don't know. Look, we'll fucking trade next time.
Double R would totally
think
take
I
that
want
offer.
this?
Yes, you just go up there. Why, hello, Garnica, and then Garnica would just be hello, and then walk off. Oblivious.
I remember one time. Oh my god, I remember. Okay, my first time ever going to Cider Fest. I got so drunk Saturday night. I remember waking up with Mogul Dash's face within about an inch of mine. He was still drunk whenever we woke up, and I remember the first thing he said was, "Hey, honey," and I fell off the bed and hit my head on the table.
Oh my god. GG.
I mean,
aren't you
to
the
be
lucky
to be fair, Double R, it wasn't really a lot of sleeping. It was. Wait, hold on. I mean, let me phrase that another way.
They were staying busy.
Son of a bitch.
It wasn't the shower scene at the beginning of a chapter.
It was mostly Garnica wasn't around because he doesn't like come back to sleep until like 5 in the morning, and then he only sleeps for like 2 hours, and then
Wait, he
goes back to
sleeps?
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, he has to stay awake so that he remembers everybody's face. Because if he goes to sleep, then he'd lose them.
It was hilarious though because we kept telling jokes up like late into the night, and like he's just like, no, sleep time. And he'd like crack a joke and start laughing for like a half hour, and then just be like, sleep time.
Oh, did it
This sounds
ever
exactly like Garnica.
Did it ever get brought up the Team Instinct?
Oh, probably.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yes.
It was on our trash can.
Yeah.
Anyone here still play that game?
Apparently.
Man,
I
I saw someone on
haven't
the
for
Metro
a long
playing it.
time.
Wait, hold on, Larsis. You were at Winnie City last year, right?
Nope.
No. Oh,
No,
man. Okay.
no. Me not being there is the reason why that stage looks so terrible. When I saw photos of it, I called Shane and it's just like, Shane, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, the stage was pretty shit.
What's wrong?
No, but
you got the screen across the corner of the stage. You've got the uprights visible on the pipe and drink. And where the hell are those speakers placed?
Literally right next to everyone.
Yeah, I know. And I was just like,
You were all
Shane?
clustered in the same spot and offset.
Well, that's the thing is that I actually got a message from Sleepy of all people. Said, "Are you looking at this? It looks like a high school play." And I just told him, "Yeah, me and that boy are gonna have a talk."
Well, I remember walking into the main hall at Cider Fest. I'm just like, this looks a lot like the main hall at Midwest. Just like that would make sense because the same guy set it up.
It's part of my rider now that if they want me to perform at a convention, Larsis needs to do the sound.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to bed, nice guys.
Night.
Nice guys.
Good night.
Nice
Night,
guys.
Rosie.
Shout outs.
Shout out to Winchester having us on here again.
No problem.
Because it was really fun doing another fic. We always enjoy it. So thank you.
Yes, no problem. You're welcome back at any time.
Friendship. Lame.
Yeah, aren't you guys swag?
Just want you for your voice.
What about you, Zeta?
Come on and slam. And welcome to Japan.
No.
Deathlight Productions.
Who's in the chat?
I thought it was
He just
Sora.
started like spamming through all the voice channels.
Yeah.
No, Deathlight
he's
is somebody
in the chat.
else.
Okay.
He does some stuff on YouTube's. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Deathlight.
Well, I might as well give my shout outs too because I'm going to head out.
Oh.
You jumped on.
Okay. Okay.
I need to think of something to shout out to that's so much more hardcore than friendship.
Magic.
Shout out to
Shout out.
Death.
For coming swiftly.
That's a commonplace. That's a commonplace.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would. That's too good. Shout out to Death for coming swiftly and in the night.
Wow.
Rainbow
Oh, Rainbow, you're my
I thought Rarity was your only friend.
I thought the
you know,
bottom of the bottle was your only friend.
oh god.
Well, we know what Larsus's only friend is.
Yes, that would that'd be bullet bourbon, but which I totally don't have a bottle of sitting here on my desk because I'm not an alcoholic.
Well, I'm pissed. I don't have my bottle of whiskey anymore.
Less than a month before I turn 21.
That's because you drank it all.
Yeah, that's true.
You're all pathetic.
Okay, well, that throws wrench in plan, kind of.
Why?
Okay. Well, see, Forrest was wanting to go and do CS:GO, like a couple weeks back, and so I was just like, okay, now that we're doing game section tonight, we can do CS:GO, and now I'm just like, oh,
Bring her back. Bring her back.
And now, and just like, okay, now she's leaving. Okay, well, I guess, yeah, because I don't. Just like I haven't played for more than a couple seconds. I don't know.
I'll put it in words you can understand. Well, shit.
Yeah, yeah, that was basically what went through my mind. I was just like, well, shit. So,
and then we had a walrus come in and be like, "Well, there's your problem."
So, lovely weather we're having.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'm melting down here in Australia. Please, someone send some snow or something cold.
Oh yeah,
because
it's summer in Australia, isn't it?
Can we just send you all of our Donald Trumps? Like, literally?
Would that cool things off or make things warmer?
Considering how everything's going, I think it'll make everything salty.
So much salt that we're gonna need pepper to balance it out.
And I'm just going to shout out that the things mentioned on the stream do not reflect the views held by the staff and management of this station.
How would you know?
Because I'm a dragon, we read minds, damn it.
Boy, I voted.
They can? I thought they just breathe fire and then some breathe ice. And some just are really, really strong and smack your face in.
Some also breathe poison. There's another one that breathes metal, and then it breeds metal. Yeah.
It
breeds metal? Are you sure about that?
I mean, I've seen this on. I've seen this sort of thing before on a site called Fur Affinity, but we're not going to link that.
Oh. I saw it quite a bit on E621 before, but
Yeah, you can't get any worse than that.
you can't have a nightmare if you never drink.
I would like to say that it was very, very difficult talking to myself during that reading.
You did wonderfully there.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was hard. I actually had Forrest give me a little bit of direction before the show. I'm like, hey, Forrest, can you help me with this just a little bit? She's like, yeah, sure. So we went through it for about 5 minutes. But other than that, that was about it.
Yay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who else had to talk to themselves today? I've forgotten already. Oh, Winchester, you had to talk to yourself when you took over the narration and then had to also play Lyra's part.
Yeah, I did a little bit. And again, I say, Lars, it would have been handy if you could have like posted something in chat like back or something, so we wouldn't have talked over each other.
Sorry, I saw the line. Sorry, I saw the line come up and there was a pause. Just, okay, I'll start reading now.
But yeah. So
hugs?
Yeah.
Hugs
I'm
are nice.
noticing a lot of bread and Putin
And all the bread. What is up?
Well, there's no garlic bread. So
I'm Italian, and there's already enough bread for me. Bread or letting terrorists win choices. Well, we already closed off the borders. Let's not worry about the terrorists.
So Larson,
I'm
would
making
you
really
would you
bad
like
jokes,
to
I'm
give me
sorry.
more? Would you like to give me more reasons to get a 6i6?
Yeah, it works.
My 2i4 is working just fine at the moment.
Yes, but all of the outputs on mine work and are assignable.
Yeah, 2i4 also sounds like 2x4, which is like the regular size of most pieces of wood. And you don't want something that is woody. Wait, that's a bad joke. No, because we have a friend named Woody. No, it doesn't work.
Skyrays. If he wanted something of
Skyrays?
Woody's, he'd have an 18i20.
Yeah,
I know. I just remembered Woody is the name of a friend of ours, and he has like some of the most expensive fucking equipment when it comes to audio.
Actually,
which
not
is why
really.
I said, which is why I said the 18i20, because that is what Woody has for all his damn drums.
Yeah, he has an 18i20 and then a bunch of microphones, and that's about it.
Really
actually.
expensive microphones too.
Hey, Winchester. I actually have an even better interface coming on Friday.
Oh, so you're willing to go and send me up the 6i6? Lovely.
Well, here, just tell me. I'm going to post this in here. What do you think of the interface that I'm going to be getting on Friday?
Oh, that one. Yeah, you've
way,
told me about that one multiple times.
Yep. So I got the one my mom sent me, and sure enough, FedEx broke it. So they're UPSing me a new one.
Say, Winchester,
Yes.
should I tell these guys about the joke that I want to do, but she wouldn't let me do?
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay, you guys remember Wubsy? She just went unconscious.
I gotta mute myself.
What I really wanted to do, but she wouldn't let me do, was once they said the Black became her oblivion, I was gonna be like, and she's dead. The end. That's what I wanted to do. But of course, Winchester has to be a spoil sport.
No. There's only one person in here with a name close enough to do that, so therefore I'd have to do that. I am, in fact, M.A. Larsis.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Teach me, senpai.
Just, oh my god. I so wanted to yell out when Forrest's set was getting all screwed up and whatnot. I was so tempted to just yell out, "Thanks, M.A. Larsis!"
I was to say, you were actually there for what actually did happen between her and I, right?
Yes, I was there the entire time.
What was great is that apparently there were a bunch of people in the crowd that thought that she and I were being serious about that.
Well, but a lot of people probably don't know relationships between.
Yeah, because what happened was that her inputs on her keyboard got plugged into the wrong inputs on the digital snake. So I was trying to unmute 19 and 20 for her. It's just, why isn't this working? Turns out she was plugged into 9 and 10. But what was great was I would go up there and just yell, "Are you breaking my stage?" And she asked, "Are you ruining my show?" And then we troubleshoot.
Oh God. You had a lot of issues with mics being muted at that concert.
Yeah.
Hey, I fixed them.
I also remember when you went to throw the glow sticks up on the subwoofer, just sneaking up, throw 'em, run!
Well, I've been in a rabid crowd before. I know what that looks like. It's just, okay, I'll drop these here, and then the piranhas will descend.
Yeah.
Okay, I just realized something. I actually have to go now.
Oh,
man, everyone's going.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, goodbye, Double R.
All right, but first, I'd like to give my shout-outs to the pile of dead bodies that consist of people who have made Forrest Gump jokes on me.
You were implying it on yourself at the beginning of the stream!
It doesn't, just because I give you the
You
bait.
have no room to talk on that, man.
Forrest,
Double R. Just
there's
remember, stupid is as stupid does, and you were stupid for giving us the bait. So,
Well, Winchester, looks like we're gonna need a new narrator next week.
Oh boy.
All right.
Just
amount
go,
of
Forrest.
salt.
Go, Forrest.
Well, we already need a new story for next week, so okay, he just went.
End that off with a joke.
Well, and
Oh, man.
this might also be the outs for me since I am trying to recover from a cold. I really didn't have a backup game planned, and yeah, I guess Coldust, he has streaming privileges to all this. He can go and do a puzzle or something after if he wants.
I've got work in the
Next
morning.
week we'll actually
Yeah, I
make
got
up a
stuff to
plan
do.
for the game. So this Sunday
Planning?
we got to
What's
do the
that?
meeting. Planning, it's that's a good question. What is planning?
Hey Winchester, there's a
I
fic
look-
that I link to people. That's awesome. Sorry.
No problem.
Oh, actually, like
I
it. I
totally
still
lost
need a
it. Thank you very
description
much,
of what the
Lawson.
hell that list of fix was from last week.
I
The what?
Someone linked a list of fix. I thought it was you.
Oh yes, it was me. Yes, I did link a whole list. They're slightly outdated, but all of them are ranked in order of like, how good they are.
Let's see.
I have no
where's
idea what they are.
Winchester? Here's Winchester.
The doc doesn't say what it is.
And
Yes, it does.
Oh
Hang
yes,
on.
that fic.
Not all of it.
And here's CMC.
There you go, CMC. I sent you the link there. It's in the chat. It's
Holy shit! What the kitchen sink? I like how that's the first thing I see. The roommate alone.
Oh, that list. So, anyways, I guess we'll just do shoutouts for everybody else. So we'll start off with Coldust.
Close shouts out to trains.
Cole, are you gonna shout out?
Oh, geez.
Your mic is muted.
I didn't think of anything.
Trains?
Here comes the choo-choo train. And thank you for that lovely, insightful argument.
The GE diesel electric, whatever the hell the model is.
Did you know that Thomas the Tank Engine was...
I'd be really impressed if you actually remembered the rest of that quote.
Yeah, that is the Amazon S3, right?
Sure. Yes.
Coal dust is buffering. Please wait.
To deliver your shout out, press 1. To deliver it in a foreign language, press 2.
Si hablo español.
For English, press 1. Para español, oprima número 2.
Beep. Go with butterscotch, because it's
the wrong button.
Awful.
That's your shout out. Awesome.
Butterscotch snacks is just so good.
Alrighty. And and now on to Lycan.
Oh, hey, it's my turn. Shout out to the Nintendo NES Classic because mine arrived just the other day.
I've got nothing on it.
Alrighty. And on to Skyrays.
Shout outs to the 7-second delay that my microphone has.
Beautiful.
10 out of 10.
Alrighty.
Winchester, you gonna say the next shout out?
And on to Orange Shirt Guy.
Shout outs to free beer that just appears in your vehicle over a weekend.
Damn it, that never happens to me.
Anything else? Yes, no?
And shout outs to people who can't take beer with them back to college.
Shout outs to the fact that I can't drink because I'm on call.
Oh.
Oh, that sucks.
And on to Larsis.
Shoutouts to Bullet Bourbon because it's applicable in any situation, be it streams, conventions, streams about conventions, story reading streams. This group, but yeah, Bullet Bourbon.
Shout outs to freedom of speech, because fuck you.
Alrighty, and on to CMC.
Shoutouts to fires and explosions and LOE! And shoutouts to Seldom Needy for having the longest reading of Background Pony posted to YouTube so that I can get halfway through the story. Just under halfway through the story, actually. It's annoying. Chapters. That's the longest one posted.
Alrighty. And finally mine. Shoutouts to everybody who came and did chats and things. It was lots of fun. So yes, other upcoming events, my list is still outdated. Sometime I'm going to need to get with CMC to get a correct one. But yeah. So, anyways, Sunday we start off with Circuits Let's Play at 4 p.m. and then move on to Mogul Dash's Music and Games at 7 p.m. And then Monday we have what's your stream actually called, Cold Dust?
Yeah.
And a question flag stop.
On Monday we have an equestrian flag stop at 8 p.m. And then at 9 p.m. we have the Brony show. And then we have the after party at some point after, till whenever CC decides to end. And then Tuesday we have Coldest Gypsy Drawing Band. Starts around 9:15 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday we have Winchester Wednesdays, which starts at 9:30 Eastern. Yes, make sure to join in for all of that. And then Friday we have their own RPG stream at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday, we have Saturday morning cartoons, and then join in for Creatures Gaming Meltdown at 8 p.m. Eastern. And now CMC will fill in on any gaps I may have missed.
Yes. I wasn't paying attention.
Alrighty.
I'm going to be the rebel and say no.
I'm assuming the only thing I might have missed might have been Silent Blast does things on Thursdays. I still don't exactly know what all that entails.
Yeah, probably. So, alrighty. But anyways, nevertheless, it was requested that I play this as the outro. So yeah. Thank you, Micah, for suggesting this. And everybody have a good night. Say goodbye.
No, she's gonna kill me now.
Would you say I'm a hero, glorious and brave? If I told you something you wouldn't believe, that sometimes I'm scared and I can make mistakes, and I'm not so heroic, it seems. But if day can turn to night and the darkness turn to light, then why can't we imagine a changeling can change? No two ponies are exactly the same. No two snowflakes ever match their design. And I thought I was strong, but I was nothing but wrong when I forgot to be friendly and kind. But if day can turn to night and the darkness turn to light, then why can't we imagine a changeling can change? Would you say I'm a hero, glorious and brave? If I told you something you wouldn't believe, this changeling, it seems
Thank you all for showing up. It's been a great time. This is Winchester 572 going 10-7. I'm out. Bye-bye.